Okay, so hopefully this video be short. So this video is about the death threats and the conversation that I had with Cynthia O'Vera when she came out of her body and came into the jail. So on a previous video, when I just recorded, I told y'all that they had spiked me. And another thing that I think people would probably want to say is like, I got spiked after Cynthia came the first time. So, yes, there was a time that I was not spiked and Cynthia came and she had got in my body. And they spiked me, I believe. They spiked me at some point. So, let me just go into details about the death threats. So, Cynthia Vera had came into my cell. Like, I was sitting in the segregated housing unit just like this on the cell, in the cell. And of course, y'all know I be reading my Bible very close to God. I don't listen to the television or radio anyway. So only thing they was really doing by hurting me was just keeping me from having the amount of food I needed, the medical care, and keeping me from my son by locking me in that cell like that and then trying to murder me. So while I was in there, I was sitting down and I heard like wings fly into the cell, and I was like, because I was awake, like just like this, and I was like, okay, I didn't see anything, so I was like, okay, I know I heard something, you know what I'm saying, and so I just was like, oh, I guess I'm just hearing stuff, and then she said something. She said, oh yes, I'm in here, and I started looking around because I heard where the wings had flew, and it was like up in the corner, like right above the cell door inside the cell, and that's where I heard her voice, and then she said, oh yes, I'm in here. And then, like, I went and stood at the cell door and looked out the door to try. I was like wondering if I should scream and tell the guards that Cynthia was in the room with me. And then she kept talking and saying that she was, that because her son had got shot, that she was trying to do stuff to me, that she was trying to kill me. And then so I went and told the guards that I couldn't breathe. Um, and they let me come into the hallway, and I didn't want to go back in that cell. Cynthia had told me before the guard came that she was sick and that she wanted my body because I was young and healthy. And she said something about the baby I was carrying, that she would either want to stay in my body or she would want to get in the baby's body who I was carrying. And she said that if she died, that she will go to hell, that God has already told her that when she die, she going to hell for all the wickedness that she have done with this coven. And so Cynthia was saying that because she be getting sick, she don't know when she gonna die, and that she needed another body to go into, so that when her body went out on her, that she would still be able to live on through the body of the person who body she was in. And she said that Joseph O'Vera, that they was trying to put his soul in my little baby boy body, and he was 22 months old, and that they would be molesting him. And she showed me images of her, my baby daddy, and Joseph molesting my son, and said that it was hell. And I seen my son with these little devil horns on that somebody had put on him, and in the spirit, and his father was molesting him, and they was talking about their heart's desire of all the Cynthia was talking about her heart's desire of all the sexual things that her and Joseph wanted to do to my son. And this was after I told the police that I felt like my baby daddy could possibly molest my son, because I caught him in the closet with my son, and he was saying some vulgar things around my son when he got out the prison. And I went and grabbed my son, and I was always watching my son around him, and he was attacking me and the boy, and I was trying to get him out the house. And so while Cynthia was telling me all of this, I was like crying, because she was telling me basically that when they heard that I told the police that Austin could possibly molest him, that it pretty much made her want to go ahead and come out and tell that she was a child molester, like she was being a witch and they evil, and she wanted to tell me stuff that she knew would have me in there worrying about my boy. And basically I was seeing that my son didn't have any control over anything that they made him do. Like they was in the vision, and what Cynthia showed me, I was still awake and I seen the floor and it was hell. And I seen my little baby boy, 22 months old, and people was making him perform oral sex on them, and he was still in the pamper, and he, and then so um I had seen the spirits of this white correctional guard lady who had put me back there. I know Sergeant Vales was one of them, but there was other females, and I don't think it was Sergeant Vales who was the one who no, it wasn't Sergeant Vales. It was another one. She's blonde, but she kind of have the same dyke type butch demeanor as Sergeant Vales, who put me in the segregated housing unit, and she had blonde hair and like a little ponytail, and that was her and other correctional guards that had me back there knowing that the government was trying to make me an Illuminati blood sacrifice. And they was down for the shit because of the KKK and the Aryan Brotherhood and, the Satanic Illuminati. They was down for the shit. So they was having me back there trying to go through with the hit. And so basically the lady came in the spirit right after Cynthia, and she told me that she was like, that's why we got your son. And she said we gonna we'll rape, she said Austin gonna give us your son as a blood sacrifice. And she said and we gonna rape your little boy in this jail. And then she said that all of the police department was gonna go into this room and rape my little boy. And then and there was white people, and she was like, for Satan. And then the white officer started telling me about how the children behave sexually when they raping them. And I started trying to uh pry the vent off of the vent in the top of the cell so that I could try to escape out of the jail. Because once I knew that they have my son and they up in here trying to kill me, then I need to just get up out of this satanic jail. Because when God had told me that it was when I said I walked in the power of Christ, and I seen my little sister trying to taunt me and come and do witchcraft and make fun of me losing my place and make fun of my friends, so-called friends, betraying me, the Holy Spirit said that the Holy Spirit handled her, and he called her a bitch and said he was abusing her and your nephew. And God had shown me the cell that they had me in. He showed me the jail, and he showed me all the visitors that was visiting me. And he showed me there was regular people just wanting to look on and see bad things happen to me. And then he showed me the jail and all the cells. That the numbers that was on the cell was in red, and the cells were black, and it was darkness. And God showed me that it was an evil facility, that it was a wicked facility. Period. That it wasn't nothing about that jail that was righteous. That it was evil. And that's when he told me, Jesus Christ told me who God was, Jehovah. And that's how I found out. And he showed me people was trying to say that I didn't have a right to protect myself, or I used too much force. And God was like, when a person keep hitting somebody over and over and they done try to get them to stop, then they gonna pick something up. And he said, and she from the south side of Chicago, so you know what I'm saying, you ain't finna just be hitting on her, beating her up and doing all of that. And people were still trying to find a way to say something to me, even after God was like, it's over with. All that thinking y'all gonna come and do something to her for protecting herself is over with. I made the decision. So they already hate God anyway, and he had to explain to me why they keep always having something to say about his judgment when he made judgment in the earth. So Cynthia O'Vera. So these witches was telling me that they was gonna be molesting my son. And then I don't know if they was talking about the baby that was in my womb, or if they was talking about the baby my son, but they was like trying to starve me because they had been doing stuff to my food and I couldn't eat it. So they knew they was starving me too. Either they was gonna poison, they were like, she either gonna eat this poison or she gonna starve. And so I was starving. And the other witch, the police officer lady who said they was gonna rape my baby in the building, she was like, oh, we gonna drop that. No, it was a black man. He said, we gonna drop that baby through that cell, and we gonna make you eat your dead baby. And they was doing this witchcraft, and so coming out of my mouth, a lot of people like, Andrea crazy, she just saying vulgar things. I wouldn't say these things. What reason would I have to come out and say these things? What reason would I have to come out and fucking lie? I'm African American, and y'all doesn't know about these people feeding people babies to alligators and raping and killing us for generations. So what reason do I have to fucking lie? Do you see my son? Do you see all the stuff that my people did to me? What reason do I have to fucking lie? And so, when they knew they was going to have to drop the charges on me, Sergeant Vales had asked me, what did I plan to do? And I said, I plan to go to the shelter and get me a job and get my son. So she went back with these witches, and all of a sudden they set it up for me not to be able to go to any classes in population because I was showing, and then, or church, and then, had me in there trying to poison the fuck out of me and drugging me to where I almost OD'd in the cell off of something they put in my fucking meal, and then cut off the water in my cell because I was using the water to flush the poison out, sprayed chemicals in my cell while I was in labor, and I had to turn on the shower and mist the whole place for 24 hours in order to keep the air clean inside the cell. I had to sleep with a wet blanket over my head because it was gassing me, trying to put me to sleep. Before my trial, they moved all the inmates from back there by me so they could do stuff to me back there. They made whole carts full of poison trays just so that they could make sure that whatever I ate was poisoned. They had black inmates bringing me the poison trays. And I told y'all I lost 50 pounds. Ain't no depression, ain't no none of that shit. They was doing stuff to my food. And then people got the nerve to try to act like I'm annoying them by telling. So Cynthia Olvera told me that when she because they spiked me and put me in the shitter. And Cynthia Olvera told me that that's when because she had got in my body, and I could feel it when she got in my body, and I started singing praise and worship music and stuff, and she kept saying she couldn't take it and getting out of my body, and they kept saying don't say the name of Jesus because they was trying to stay in my body, and they could not stay in my body long as I kept saying Jesus and Jehovah, and they said don't say Jehovah no more, don't say Jesus no more, we're gonna kill you, trying to stay in my body. And I kept saying it, and then Jesus Christ came and he cast them out, and he threatened to kill folks. He threatened to do all kind of stuff to them that was more wicked than anything they could come up with if they killed me in that cell. And then I seen something about my older sister Larissa being involved. I seen stuff, and that's when I seen my family. When I was laying on the floor, after they had, hold on, let me go real quick. What's up? So this is important. This is very important because I know the devil. You know what I'm saying? I know the devil, and it's always gonna be an interruption when you revealing stuff that they really know they don't want you to disclose. So when I was laying on the floor, and after they spiked me in that cell, I was laying on the floor, and when I was waking up, I knew something was wrong. I hadn't seen the color of my skin yet, but I seen spirits all above me as I was trying to come back to, like, when you almost die and you still conscious. And I seen my grandmother's spirit. I seen my cousin Kiana's spirit. I seen this one dude that I knew that sold weed from my neighborhood. I seen big black guy. I seen his spirit. I seen my older sister Larissa's spirit, and they was all in this one circle spirit. It was an Illuminati circle spirit. It wasn't the spirit of God. And I tell y'all how I knew, because God had jumped in and took my side and told me why they was all together like that. And so my family started telling me the reasons why they wanted me dead while I was lying there on the floor. And my little sister was saying, I was trying to get in your body to make you kill yourself. And then my older sister was, she was saying something, but I don't really know that. And then my everybody was trying to say, oh, Andrea, all you got is evil in your heart. All you got is evil in your heart. All you want to do is just hurt people. And they was talking about me or whatever. And then God had came and God was like, I'll die about it. God was like, I'll die about it. God was like, ain't nothing sweet. And he was like, with me, like he was like, ain't nothing sweet. Like basically with her, like she ain't got nothing in her heart towards none of y'all, towards none of the people that did this. She ain't got to be nice to y'all. She ain't got to think nothing good about y'all. You know what I'm saying? And God was like, I'll die about it. And God was like, I'm murking. God was like, I'm murking. And then God was showing me everything in his heart was to murk them folk. He was like, it wasn't nothing. That's what was in his heart. That's all that was there towards them. And that was what was in my heart. You know what I'm saying? Like anger, like righteous vindication. Like it wasn't in my heart to kill them now. But God was saying that it was in his heart to destroy the wicked folks. You know what I'm saying? And so they were trying to make it seem like something was wrong with my heart.